Okay. Okay. So welcome everybody to the 2024 officially tri-level section championship, even though we're played in 2025. This is still considered 2024. Um, we've got tons of captains. This is going to be a great tournament. We're very excited. We've got new people. We've got some returning folks. So a little bit of housekeeping. This is laid back. I do have a PowerPoint presentation that I will send out afterwards. But if you have questions, and tri-level is a little bit quirky, as I'm sure you guys have figured out. So if you have questions, ask. When I do the PowerPoint presentation, I probably won't be able to see everybody. So if you have questions, just come off mute and just ask. Chances are, if you have the question, other people also have the question. So it's good to go ahead and ask. So we are really hoping to get everything good and clarified here as we. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen and start with the PowerPoint. Mhm. Thinking. Okay. Actually, I know that's not presentation mode, but I'm going to leave it that way because I can actually see everybody on the side of my screen this way. So this is the 2024 Tri-Level Section Championship. Welcome. Super happy to have everybody. And this is the first one of the calendar year 2025. So it's going to be a good year. We're not going to get snowed out, so that's fantastic. This, I always try to include the either the invitational schedule or the championship schedule. So this also has the adult 65 and over, the and the mixed 55 and over. I'm sorry, these links, this is a picture, so these links don't work, but if you need access to them, let me know and I will send them out to you. They're all on different web pages at the national office. And then there is a link, this link does work, that's to this calendar, so you can kind of see it. So this year, as you guys can see, we have, for tri-level, we have a grouping that's going to be 354045, a grouping that's going to be 404550, and a grouping that's going to be 303540. So tri-level is unique in that we have championships to pick the top rated male and female team at the NTRP level. When you go to the National Invitational, you become one team. So there's a possibility that there's a 3-5 team from Rhode Island and a 4-0 team from New Hampshire and a 4-5 team from Maine. And then you become one team and you head off and you play together. It's a really exciting way to meet new people, to see a different format. We really love it. We've had some people make some really good friends that they wouldn't have made in other states otherwise. Now, some of the other sections do play it in a different way, where one team is from the same local area or district, and they are 3-5, 4-0, 4-5 in one team, and they advance the entire team. We like to do it by NTRP level as a one doubles position because it allows for newer people. It's kind of an easier way to ease in if you've never played league before. It's an easier way to captain if you've never captained before. And we've had really good luck with doing tri-level with the one doubles position. So if you have any questions about any of that, let me know. I will go over how we're going to advance everybody in just a minute on which teams win, who's going to go with who. So, okay, so we are playing, it's January 17th, 18th, and 19th. This Friday night time slot, there are no matches before 6 o'clock. So we're super excited that we were able to get enough courts that we didn't have to start you guys earlier on Friday. Not everybody's playing on Friday, so make sure you double check your schedule. And hopefully, as long as nobody else drops out, we won't have any more changes to the schedule, and we will be just like it is on there. But if you are not, if you're currently listed as not playing on Friday, it will not change, so you have to play on Friday. We would never pull you in any earlier. I'm the tournament director. My name's Christy Bennett. I'm the director of leagues at USTA New England. My email address is there. The league championship email address is there, and my phone number is there. If you happen to have something happen during the championship and you need to get a hold of me immediately, if you will text that phone number, that's the best way. I sometimes get caught up and don't check my email quite as often as I probably should. So if you need something, or you're lost and you need directions to the club or something, text me instead of emailing me. The site directors, for those of you that have been around for a while, Edsel Ford and Siva Kumar are going to be around. For those of you that have not met Edsel and Siva, they work every championship for us. They're amazing. They're really great, and they great senses of humor. You'll have a great experience with them. Siva is going to be at Enfield Tennis Club, and Edsel will be at Ludlow, and I'll be popping back and forth between the two to see whoever needs the most help. That's where I'm going to be. So, does anybody have any questions about that so far? I know that's just kind of basic stuff. Okay. We're going to start with some reminders. So just like any other championship, we need you to come in before your first match. We need you to get there about 45 minutes early. And that does include the early morning Saturday and Sunday match. Oh, no, nobody. Yeah, Saturday matches, because we need to be able to get you out on the courts and playing in the time frame. And if everybody is kind of wandering in at 8 o'clock, we already start behind. So please come in, have your players come dressed and ready, ready to go for before your first match 45 minutes early. We have player gifts for you. We will give you your lineup cards, all of those things. It just gives us a little extra time for that. All your other matches, we just need you there 30 minutes early, dressed and ready to go. It helps keep us on time. If for some reason we are running behind significantly, we will let you know what time to come, what time to show up. We'll be really specific with that. I don't anticipate anything getting us behind. The schedule is a pretty decent schedule, and we've got some breaks in it where we've got some empty courts, which will help us catch up if we do have a match or two that go long. When you guys are filling out your scorecards, please, first of all, we have to be able to read it. So please make sure your handwriting is good, or give it to somebody who can write it so we can read it, please. It needs to be first and last names. And it needs to be how they are on Tennis Link, because when we check rosters, we print rosters off of Tennis Link. So if your name is Robert on Tennis Link, please put Robert. If it's Bob, please put Bob. That helps us make sure that we check off the right person. And when we enter scores, enter the right person's name. And then all your players will need to provide a government issued ID prior to playing. And sometimes your name in Tennis Link is not what your government issued ID is. That's okay too. We just need to prove that whoever's on the lineup is the person that's playing. So driver's license, passport, anything like that that identifies the players. As a reminder for this, there's no coaching of any kind, no banging on the windows, no screaming, yelling at, that ball was out. None of that. The players on court are responsible for their own calls if they have issues, and we'll go over all of this with them when we send them out on court. If there are any issues, whether they need more water, snacks, they need a bathroom break, they have a question, it's the player's responsibility to come to the tournament desk and ask us, and then we'll handle that from there. Because we never know, somebody could be asking for more water from you. It could also be some kind of super secret signal, which seems weird, but it's happened before. So just no talking to your players after they get called out onto court and until they come back. So we will, again, we'll go over all of that more, and we're always present there. So there's always someone around that if they have any issues, if they need some help with how to do a Coleman tie break, or they got messed up on the score and now they're arguing, we can go down and we can kind of help solve some of those issues. Does anybody have any questions about that first part? Okay.
Hey, just quickly, so we don't need to provide the lineup until half an hour before the actual match, correct? Is that what you're saying?
Correct. Yep.
We don't email that ahead of time or anything? Okay.
No, just before. That way, you can always change it up. If you decide on Saturday night you want somebody else to play on Sunday. So we'll have the blank cards for you. You just fill them out and hand them in.
Question for the morning, the first session. If a captain is not there, can we just designate somebody else to be the captain on the spot?
Yes, just whoever that person is, have them go to the tournament desk and they'll just need to provide their name, phone number, and team so that we can write it down in case we need to get a hold of them for some reason. We just need some contact information. Not a problem at all.
When do we need to provide that, and how do we provide it if the first day the captain is not there?
If you know ahead of time, you can always email me and I'll make sure the site directors know. If not, if it's kind of a last minute thing, just whoever your person is, just have that person tell your site director.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so match format. Now, please note that each local area does match formats in a different way, and everybody but Maine has timed matches. So this format might be different than what you are typically used to playing. So familiarize yourself with it. If you have questions, let us know. We're going to play 2 out of 3 regular sets. That's with ad scoring. So you're going to play your ads. If you split sets, you're going to do a 10-point Komen tiebreak. And I'll make sure that there's a Komen tiebreak in your documents so that if anybody is not familiar with how to play a Komen tiebreak, they'll have it in writing. They can always, again, if they do that, they can always come up to the desk and ask us. If it gets to 6 all in either set, you're going to play a 7-point Komen tiebreak. So it's the same style, just fewer points. There's no time limit. So this is played out until you're done. There's no stopping. You're going to play it until it's done. So that is different than, like I said, everybody but Maine. So make sure your players know they're going to play it out until they have completed 2 out of 3 sets. You switch after odd games, no matter what, including game 1. There's no rest after game 1. You can grab a drink, but it can't be any more than the regular just crossing over time frame. And whether the curtains are open or closed depends on the club, and I'm not sure how the clubs are this one. So we'll just have to play that one by ear. I think they're open. There's a 10-minute warm-up. So we're trying to keep really a strict tab on that because we don't want to get behind. It's very frustrating later in the day if we're even 10 or 15 or 20 minutes behind. So we'll tell everybody again, 10-minute warm-up. That does include serves. Have them look at their watch, look at a clock, and make sure that they get good and warmed up in that 10 minutes. And then once they're done, a player from each side needs to come up and report the scores. So what we have you do is the players will come off the court, they bring the balls back. We'll have a box there for them to put the balls in. They'll report the scores, and then we have a player from each team initial on the scorecard that we wrote the score down correctly. And then as a captain, we have you come up, you double check, make sure that what they told you is what we wrote down. Each captain will sign off on the scorecard. You're more than welcome to take pictures of it, to check, to keep records of it for yourself. Once we get the captain's signature on the scorecards, then we will enter them. And we try to keep the entering of scores up pretty fast so that it comes up on Tennis Link. But that helps us make sure that both teams agree on the score, both captains agree on the score, fewer mistakes, the more eyeballs looking at it, the better. So let your players know when they get done, they need to pop off the court and come up, and one from each team. So they cannot stay on the court to watch matches. Even if it's late in the day and almost everything is done and somebody's in a tie break, they have to leave the court. It's not fair. for one team to be able to sit on court and watch while other teams aren't able to do that. So they need to finish, they need to pack their bags, and they need to pop up to the tournament desk, please. And then again, sign your scorecard. So does anybody have any question about kind of procedures with the scorecards or any of that?
Is there any place where we can warm up, but not before the match, but just to play a little bit around?
So on Friday, our matches start at 6. So staff will get there at 5. So on Friday before 5, we won't have any, like, you can rent courts. It doesn't matter to me if they have courts open. Once the tournament starts at 5 o'clock on Friday, there will be no courts available for practicing. So you could try to find a neighboring club. It might be too cold to go outdoors, but we won't have access to any practice courts at all starting Friday at 5.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. This is a no default championship, which again, if for some reason in your round robin, if you default, it kind of ends up being the end of it. Oh, sorry, Matthew. The one I sent out is correct. Let me double check Tennis Link. I'll talk to my staff that put those in and see what happened. So I'll double check. I'll let everybody know. Typically, the one I send out is the one you should go by. Please make sure you've got enough people there so you don't have defaults. That's the key to this slide. Okay, so medical timeouts. Here's the grayest of all gray areas. Medical timeouts were originally created for tournaments where there is an athletic trainer and officials available. We do not have either. And none of our staff are medical people. So officially, according to Friend at Court, there is an evaluation period, and then there is an administrative period of when whatever the issue is can be resolved. That cannot exceed 15 minutes, and the actual administration of whatever is happening can't exceed 3 minutes. However, this is my however in my gray area. It might take us time to get out there. We are not medical people, so the only thing we're going to be able to do is hand you a bag of ice, check on you, and say, do you want your 3 minutes or do you need to retire? So the time frame could be a little iffy. If for some reason there is blood, we'll have to contact the club owners, managers, and get them to help us clean it. So it might, again, exceed that 15 minutes. Now, the other thing is with medical conditions, hopefully we won't have this. We typically don't have a lot of this at tri-level because it's not so hot. But if somebody takes a medical timeout for cramping, it's considered one condition. So if you have cramping in your left leg and you take a medical timeout, you cannot later take a medical timeout for cramping in your right leg. But if you have cramping in your left leg and then later on you roll your ankle, you could take 2 medical timeouts. They shouldn't exceed 3 minutes. There's no coaching during medical timeouts. But again, give us some grace. Have a little leeway with the medical timeouts if something were to happen to one of your players. Go ahead, Claudia.
I don't understand the difference between the 3 minutes and the 15 minutes.
So this is the way it was explained to me when you have medical people on staff. They have up to 12 minutes to talk to you to find out what's going on. And the second they put hands on you, whether it's to tape an ankle, change a Band-Aid, that's when the 3 minutes starts. So for us, it's really us coming out on court, checking in with you. Hey, I saw you rolled your ankle. What do you want to do? Okay, your 3 minutes starts now. That's kind of, so that total can't be more than 15.
Got it.
Okay.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we love photos. Our marketing, there's going to be a gentleman there from our marketing department on Sunday. He'll be taking tons of photos, popping around, maybe trying to do some social media, have some fun with it if you guys like to be on social media. this photo drive is open for everybody that has the link. So feel free, if you've got friends and family that are coming, they can drop photos into it. You guys can drop photos into it. If you have a story, if there's something fun about your team or something unique or different, please let us know about that too, because we do a lot of, this team won or that team won, and which is fantastic. But I think league tennis is so much more than that. And it's friendships and family and experiences and so many things that we don't even know about that we would love to know about. So please talk to me or one of the site directors, or James when he's there on Sunday. He's our story writer. He's really great. We do want to hear all about it. So, all right. Okay, so a few just frequently asked questions. We covered the courts. There would be no courts available for practice before or during the championship. Bathrooms and showers are open and available. Please make sure you bring plenty of water and snacks with you. Clear liquids only are allowed on court. Enfield and Ludlow both have water fountains. So if you have a water bottle, you want to fill it up. Ludlow does sell water. I'm pretty sure Enfield does too, but I wouldn't swear to that. So just make sure you bring plenty of stuff with you. You can bring coolers. You can, pop some things in and just kind of camp out in the lobby. You can find your own little place. Alcohol is not allowed in very many of the clubs. I'm not sure what the status is of either one of these clubs. So if you have a question about whether or not you can bring beer, wine, please call the club and ask the club. So whatever they say, some of them have liquor licenses. They don't want us bringing anything in. As staff, we won't bring anything in, obviously. So please definitely call the club and ask them. So what other, do you guys have any other questions? Go ahead, Justin. Oh, you're on mute. Go ahead, Justin. You're going to have to pop off mute, though. Okay, I'm gonna go on, but Justin, when you're ready, just pop in and ask.
All right, sorry, you got me now?
Oh, there you are. Okay. Yep, go ahead.
Sorry about that. So for my morning match, Saturday morning, just the two people that are actually playing have to be there 45 minutes early, or does the entire team need to be there before the match?
No, just the two people that are playing, and one of them would need to be, if one of those people is not the captain, one of those people needs to be designated as the captain and come to the tournament desk and check in and grab all your stuff.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'll send this out to you guys when I send the recording. It has links to the Facebook page, the Captain and Player Hub. All of the documents that you need are in this hyperlink, the tri-level section championship. That's an active link. So if we update something, it's updated in that. That is the most up-to-date information is in this link right here. We also have an online store if you want t-shirts or mugs or drinkware or hats. And 10% of all proceeds from the online store go to the Tennis and Education Foundation, which helps to support our kids programs. So, okay, so I did say I'm going to show you how we're advancing everybody. So, I have to find it. Okay, it's thinking. Here we go. Oh, it was really big earlier. So, because the original tri-level, when they started tri-level, we only sent the 3-5, 4-0, 4-5 team. So that's kind of our standard. That's our those will be our first place teams. So the winner at the men's level and the women's, so separate teams, the first place winner at 3-5, the first place winner at 4-0, and the first place winner at 4-5 will advance with the 3-5, 4-0, 4-5 as one team. We'll get you guys together. We'll connect you via email. We'll make sure that one of you is designated as a captain. And then we'll connect you with national when that goes. So the last year they opened it up for 3-0s to be able to go. So now we have a 3-0, 3-5, 4-0 team. So this was new last year. So the first place 3-0 team, the second place 3-5 team, and the second place 4-0 team. Those will connect, they will form one team, and they will go with the 3-0, 3-5, 4-0 team. These are played on similar weekends. The calendar was at the front, so you can look and see which one that those would go to. And then this is brand new, is adding in the 5-0s. So I know it gets a little wonky here. The third place 4-0 team, the second place 4-5 team, and then the 5-0 team that's advancing from Eastern Mass. And only women had this. The men didn't have a 5-0 team. So only the women will have a 4-0, 4-5, 5-0 team. But just know if you're the third place finisher of the 4-0s or the second place finisher of the 4-5s in the women's division, you would advance with this team. So essentially, we'll be sending 3 women's teams and we'll be sending 2 men's teams to the National Invitational. All right. So did that make sense? Did I confuse everybody?
Would you share this document to us after the meeting?
Yes, this is part of the regulations. This is in your the links that I sent out. So I'll make sure but it'll be sent out with this as well. It'll be hyperlinked in. Yep.
Thank you.
All right, Sylvie, go ahead.
Yes, the question, how do you know which one is the third place for the 4.0?
It just however it stands up on Tennis Link.
Okay.
What the listings is once everything's done on Tennis Link will be the third place. Go ahead, Claudia.
So this is after we play this weekend, the teams that advance, right? First, second, and third. And the lineups, like, okay, so these three teams get combined into one team, right?
That's correct.
And go to nationals, and it's up to the captains of each team to coordinate who plays the lines. You can mix and match. You don't have to stick to 3-0, 3-5, 4-0.
No, at the National Invitational, you all have to stick to 3-0, 3-5, 4-0. They want everything in level playing, but you're just considered one team.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Esther. Welcome. You're on mute.
I was saying, hello.
There.
Just a little more clarity on the third place 4-0 finisher, because they're coming from 2 flights, right? So are we going to be looking at if everything is equal, is that going to go to percentage of games won? What's
Yeah.
or is it points first?
Yeah. If everything is equal, we'll go to percentage of games won. I'll write that up because I don't think I've written that up. I'll write that up before we send this out.
Okay, but it will be, for example, if flight A, one person has, I don't know, 4 points, and flight, or I don't think they can, but 3 points, and flight 2 has 2 and 1 or whatever. We will go first, points per position. Then there's no head to head. So would it go to sets lost, then games lost, and then ultimately percentage of games won? Is that the order we're going to do, or are we just going to stick with percentage of games won?
It would be, so what we'll do is we'll pull the regulations for how to advance a wild card. It would be the same. So if the flights are the same size, the same number of teams in the flight, it would be
points per position,
and then fewest sets, fewest games, and then percentage. If the flights are different sizes, it would be percentage of games won.
Okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Claudia.
Oh, sorry, I left it raised before.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay, very good. So I'll make sure you guys get all of this. It'll be available, and then if you do have questions, you can always check in with one of us or your local league coordinator or your site director. We're always available. So I'm going to go ahead and stop presenting now. Okay, so we'll send out this recording as well to everybody. So you're more than welcome to share it with your other players, your teams, anybody. It usually takes, the computer's a little slow. It's usually in the morning or noontime-ish before I can create it into a YouTube video and then send it out. So we'll definitely get it to you as soon as I can with the PowerPoint, make sure that the regulations are all in there. So anybody else, last minute questions, anything for us? Okay, I'm going to stop recording.